Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's Elliott Wave Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you guys are doing well and you've had a great week. As usual, the market has been trending and we have been able to catch quite a number of moves. So today's webinar, I'm going to spend 5 minutes just talking about the one thing that is absolutely critical for traders. And that is the number one thing that results in traders losing money or traders failing. The number one reason why traders fail. We're going to spend 5 minutes and I'm going to just lay out 2 pointers why traders fail. But before we get to that, you can look at the timestamps on the videos. Check out the timestamps of the pairs that you're interested in. I know not everybody wants to see the whole video. It's going to just a second. So not everybody wants to see the whole video or all the pairs. So if you're only interested in specific pairs, there will be timestamps uploaded shortly after the webinar. So you can check out the timestamps there and you can go straight into your favorite pairs. Also check out our website, elliottwaveprinciple.com. You can find the website link on the videos as well. Okay. So we are currently running our course. We are going into the second week of our course. So if you're interested in our course, you can join us at any time. You can look at the course on the website, check out under the course tab, then you'll find more details about the course. So the course is pre-recorded and available immediately when you make a purchase, and then there will be a live course. The next live course after this one will be in August, and we'll probably have a cryptocurrency webinar in towards the end of July, so look out for that. So more information, you can find it on our website there. Check it out. If you like our videos, please like and subscribe so that next time we post, you get a notification. Right, so let's get started. So what is the number one thing the number one reason that results in traders failing or not making money, not making consistent profit? There are traders who've been trading for a while, some trading as long as 10 years. I know this because I've had traders that have been trading for over 10 years that have joined my group, and they've found that this was something that they were doing all along. But the number one thing that results in traders failing is simple, and that is very common for everyone, and that is timing of the market. The number one reason that results in traders failing is the timing of the market. What do I mean by that? When to enter and when to exit. And how do I know this? I know this because I get a lot of text inboxes from traders, traders who watch the videos, asking how to time the market and showing me their losses and needing help. And that is the main thing that they struggle with, is not forecasting. And you find that there are traders who can actually identify the charts and the patterns, but are still not making consistent profits. In fact, the most money that I have lost personally was when I was trading the Elliott Wave theory. That was because there was this one thing that I was not doing correctly. That is the timing of the market. So just to illustrate how to time the market and showing you how this works. So let's just look at some of the trade setups that we had. I'm not going to go through a lot of trade setups like I did last week. Last week was just one of those really, really good weeks that we had in the market, but we do consistently make profits. So just as an example, look at this chart here. This is an oil chart, silver chart rather. This is a silver chart that we did on the 14th of May. Now, any trader would want to take a trade here, looking at this flag pattern here. Traders would want to take a flag, but this trade was posted in our group 4 hours before it confirmed. As it is now, this is a trade setup. We don't give signals. What we do is we give you a trade setup. You can see the whole count. You can see why we're taking this trade, so that even if it fails, you know why it failed. We were looking at this pattern. Now, we did not take this trade because it could have failed. It could fail. So because we've got the powerful indicator that tells us when to enter the market, this is only where we got the trade set up here, and this was the trigger. There are a number of things that you need to look out for when you take a trade. You cannot just take a trade based on the patterns. Everybody knows these patterns. Even the market movers, they know these patterns. So the Elliott Wave theory also is designed to make you understand how switch off here. It's designed to make you understand how the market moves and how the market movers move the market. Now, if you've got this, look at this. This is an entry. Only 4 hours later did we take the trade, because that trade could have failed. How many times have you had people talking about false breakouts. How many times have you had people talking about false breakouts? So if you're looking at this, there could have been what some would call a false breakout if this trade did not go. But we know when the trade is supposed to go because our indicator shows us when the trade is ready. And you will see that this trade just went and it shot up over 300 points in just a matter of hours. Okay, so timing of the market is absolutely critical. And if you look at this trade as well, look at the oil trade that we had. This is actually pound yen trade last week. Okay, this is a pound yen trade. Look at the timing of the market. We did not take the trade until this point. Okay, because only here was the trade ready and it went for 716 pips. One of the things that traders are struggling with is exit. How many times have you taken a trade like this one? You make some profit and you get out. And then it goes on and you feel left out and you want to try and enter again. And when you enter, you actually give away your gains. That is the timing of the market. We were able to hold 700 pips on pound yen and a whole lot of other trades that you can watch from last week's webinar. So the timing of the market, you can have the Elliott Wave theory. You can trade patterns, your head and shoulders, your flag patterns, all those patterns, double tops, whatever. It does not help if you do not have confirmation, if you do not have a specific strategy that tells you when the trade is confirmed. So those are some of the setups that we had. There's a whole lot more that you can check out on our website. You can also, there's something very important, we have launched new social media pages. That is, you'll check it under the description of the video. There will be a page, our Facebook page, where you can find some setups, a Twitter page. So we've just launched those pages. Check them out and like the pages if you like the content there. So give us a thumbs up there. All right, thanks guys. So let's get started with today's analysis. That was pound yen, 750 pips. Another one was Brent crude oil that went for 1,015 pips. This is how Brent crude played out, guys. From the entry, timing of the market, 1,015 pips, hit the target and reversed. How do we know that? That is because we've got a specific indicator that tells us that on top of the Elliott Wave theory. All right, so let's get straight into the market now. I'm not going to waste a lot of time today. I'm not going to go through each and every single pair. I'm going to go through pairs with probable setups or with also some of the major pairs here. So let's look at the dollar index first. So the dollar index is showing upside here as forecasted. I'm going to go into the website so you can see how we forecast this. You'll see the accuracy as well. So if you've got the accuracy of forecasting wave theory with the indicator, you'll see how it works. So let's have a look at the US dollar pairs and how we forecasted this. Okay, so there's a difference also with the Elliott Wave theory and other strategies. With the wave theory, you can have the same eyes. And what I mean by that is that there's this perception that the wave theory is subjective. It is actually not when you've got the same pair of eyes. And I've seen this because these charts are not only posted by myself. I'm not the only one who posts this chart. We've got a team of traders that are posting these charts, that are updating these charts on a daily basis. So any one of the members can just go into the chart and update because we've got the same eyes. We see the same things. Right, so this is Euro US dollar. So Euro US dollar, we're expecting this pullback. As you can see here, we've already had the pullback here on Euro US dollar. So we'll be waiting for this one. It actually made a move here, did not go. So it looks like this, the pattern that's going to form on Euro US dollar, and we'll be looking for that. Okay, so we can see already that there's that pullback also on the dollar index. Let's go to the dollar index on the chart here. On the dollar index, you see here, we've got that pullback that we've had, and we've actually had the 3 waves playing out. We've had a wave 4, we've had a wave 5 playing out. Now we're expecting this pullback, which we already have. So 1, 2, 3 waves already forecasted here, as you can see. I think here we're still going to make a pullback on the dollar index before we resume the move to the upside. Let's have a look at the dollar index and what it looks like. This is the dollar index here. Okay, so this is the dollar index. See, there's some cameras that are open here. Let me just quickly check. All right, so that's done. Okay, so this is the dollar index. We've got a 3-wave move here to the upside. This is not an impulsive move here. So it's not confirmed that this move is going to go as yet. Although we're expecting it, it is not ready. So for all we know, this can actually make a move back here. We can actually have a move back here to the downside on the dollar index. So watch it out here. Watch out the dollar index for a move to the downside like this. Okay, so that's the dollar index. Let's run through the rest of the US dollar pairs. Pound US dollar, 1 hour time frame. Have a look there. So pound US dollar, as you can see, it has pushed up higher. We've actually now pushed back around the 25 area. This was all in our website. This chart was on the 8th of June before the moves happened. You saw how we forecasted pound US dollar last week up to this level. Now we're forecasting the reversal. And that's all I was saying last week in the webinar. Just look out for the pullbacks. Look out for the pullbacks. This can even change the structure. This we could even be in wave 5 here, and this can actually make a move to the downside. Let's have a look at pound US dollar here and what it looks like. Now, pound US dollar can actually even come down to these lows here, okay, and make this corrective structure. And the reason for that is that pound chief is already making that same structure. For now, we wait for a pullback here on pound US dollar. Can have something like this. So we wait for this one to confirm that pullback. It could continue to the downside and break lower like this and make a flat. Okay, so that is pound US dollar. Again, another one here is US dollar CAD. Look at how accurate US dollar CAD was. We focused it on it's going to reverse here at the lower boundary of this channel here. As you can see, as you've seen in your charts, we are already here on US dollar CAD. Have we made the complete reversal? That still needs to confirm. Let's have a look at US dollar CAD. We have made a move up as forecasted. As you can see, I'll show you the 4-hour time frame here as well on the side. Look at the 4-hour time frame. We have a blue box there. We've actually had a blue box forecasted here on some of the pairs. We'll look at it here. Let's have a look here and show the analysis here. So this is where it reversed exactly on the blue box as you've seen the forecast. That's where we are with the US dollar CAD now. This is a move up, it's impulsive. It has this confirmed reversal. So we wait for this one here to give us a pullback and wait for a continuation move to the upside. Next one is US dollar chief. US dollar chief also very accurate. As you can see, we focus the markets like this. It made a move to the downside. We've had a bit of a push up here on US dollar chief. Have a look at it here. This is our US dollar chief. Okay, so that is a US dollar chief. We're looking at US dollar chief pullback, same as US dollar CAD. Has this confirmed reversal now? Most likely, it will have a corrective structure here. We're waiting for that corrective structure to play out here so that we can get this move. Okay, that is US dollar chief. Next one here is Audi. Let's look at Audi and New Zealand. Audi US dollar. As you can see, we expected the pullback. It pushes up higher, and then we've got the pullback here on Audi US dollar. We're already around 68 here. Let's have a look. This is Audi US dollar. So Audi US dollar, we wait for another corrective structure here for a continuation move to the downside like that. Okay, that is Audi. We wait for that confirmation to see if we can get potential trades to the downside there. Next one here is New Zealand US dollar. Also forecasting the pullback. See, we expected it to pull back. That is what is happening currently on the New Zealand. This is what it looks like on the current price chart on New Zealand. We're waiting for this pullback. So we've got the pullbacks. That's what we said last week. Wait for these pullbacks. We've got the pullbacks happening. Are we going to get an entry to the downside? We wait to see if we're going to get that. We wait for that confirmation. We've already looked at the DXY. So the next, we're going to look at the yen pairs now. Let's have a look at the yen pairs. This is all on the website, as you can see. Those charts have been updated a week prior. Okay, so pound yen, let's have a look at pound yen. Now pound yen, I've just shown you a 700 pip move from here on pound yen. We've made a move up here, now we're focusing the pullback. We are already at around 135, 134 on pound yen with this move. So structure's changing here. We're not gonna get the wave 5 here. So this is possibly a wave 5 in the purple degree. So we wait for a pullback here and see if we're gonna get continuation to the downside. Okay, so that is pound yen. Let's look at the rest of the yen pairs. Looking at, let me just close some of these windows here. So looking at US dollar yen, we expected initially we had a move here. If you remember last week, we had a trade here for upside, which we took a little bit late, got only 100 pips from here, and we actually expected it to continue higher, but structure changed. We've got an impulsive move down. This is actually the latest chart. We are waiting for a corrective structure before we get a move to the downside on US dollar yen. All right, euro yen, the euros are very interesting. Okay, so euros, if you look at the euros, we also had a move to the upside. We expected the pullback here on the 8th of June. We've got the pullback now. The euro now is already dropped 400 pips from this peak here. Okay, so that is euro. Let's have a look at euro on the current price chart. Euro yen. Euro yen, that is the pullback that you see. That was the forecast. We're looking for this one to pull back and a move to the downside. Okay, so chief yen the same. Let's go to the website first and look at the forecast. So chief yen, we've got that move. We've got a forecast for downside. There's an entry here. There was an entry here on chief yen for downside. We are around this area. Let's have a look at how this is playing out. So luckily for those that missed the trade here, this is actually not gone as yet. Can still be a corrective structure here. This whole move here can be a corrective structure before the drop, the three-wave pullback there. Right, so that is chief yen and Audi yen. As you can see, we've got finally the reversal here. We've got a pullback on Audi yen. That is what it looks like on the market. So there's a difference between forecasting and actually taking the trade. So this is forecast. Anybody can forecast this. Anybody can get this right. But like I said in the beginning, the number one reason why 90% of the traders fail is because of timing of the market. You can know the pattern, you can know the direction, but how do you time the market? Okay, so the Audi yen, as you can see, we've got the pullback as forecasted. What do we expect next? We're expecting a corrective structure here, even if it's a three-wave move here. Then we look for continuation to the downside. That is Audi yen. New Zealand yen, the same pullback that you have. This is what the forecast was on New Zealand yen. This is what we have right at the peak. We expected it to come back here. Now we're expecting continuation to the downside. Bit of a pullback that's going to give us a good entry for downside. Okay, so that is yen, the yen pairs. I think we still have CAD yen there. Let's have a look at CAD yen. We've got a move up here, also has pulled back. We've pulled back on CAD yen. This is what it looks like here. So what is the next move that we expect on CAD yen? We're expecting similar continuation to the downside, even if it's a pullback here that makes three waves. That's going to give us an entry, as I'm sure that our indicator is going to confirm when this is ready to make a move to the downside. I don't worry about this move. I'm not worried about this. I'm worried about the move. The move that I'm concerned about is this one, where I'm going to need to get a trade. Just to give you an example, why would you worry about a 100, 200 pip move if there's still thousands of pips in the same direction? I'm not saying we still have 1,000 pips to go here. I'm just saying if you've got a move like that, for example, a simple example on oil. Let's have a look at oil, the oil trade that I've shown you, and where we took the oil trade. So if we look at oil, this is still silver. Let's have a look at oil, and you see how we get the trades. So if you look at oil, look at where we took the trade. I did not pick the bottom here. I did not take the trade here. I was not convinced yet that the move is going to come. I still did not take the trade here, only up to this level. Then did I take a trade. I got 1,000 pips. Why would I worry that I missed 1,000 pips if I'm able to get 1,000 pips there? So it's all about what you can get out of the market. You don't have to get everything out. So that is exactly how we trade. You don't try to pick the tops and the bottoms. Wait for structure to confirm. That's how you're going to be consistent. Now that is CAD yen, three-wave pullback, and continuation to the downside. Those are the yen pairs. Let's look at Audi yen. We've already looked at Audi yen. Those are all the yen pairs. Let's have a look at the commodities. Now gold structure looks very good. We've got here a three-wave pullback on gold. That is actually a WXY structure. It's changed here. We've got three waves down here, three waves up here. Let me show you the three waves here in the red color. You've got 1, 2, 3 waves there. Let me remove this here so you can see the chart clearly. You've got 1, 2, 3 waves there. You've got 1, 2, 3 waves there. You've got 1, 2, 3 waves there. So that is the WXY structure in the yellow degree correction here that we have. Now we've got a sharp move to the upside like that. Okay, so this is a corrective structure, and we're going to expect a move to the upside, but not just yet, guys. Don't go and rush in and take the gold trade. It is not ready yet. For all we know that this corrective structure can be a bit extended here. So we're waiting for this one to possibly pull back here, and that's going to set our indicator up as well, and it's going to confirm the trade for upside here. So we're waiting for that on gold. Silver. So the reason why I'm expecting a pullback on silver is that silver is also showing a similar structure. Even if we're still expecting the move to the upside, we've got a three-wave move here. On silver, we've got 3 down, we've got 3 up. Now we're looking for these 3 waves here on silver, looking for that 3 waves. So let's show that 3 waves. So in the lower degree, you've got here You've got 1, you've got 2, you've got 3, you've got 1, you've got 2, you've got 3, you've got 1, you've got 2. Now we're looking for 3. Simply WXY corrective structure on silver, and we'll be waiting for the continuation to the upside. Should we get that confirmation, and that will be our correction, and we'll be looking for continuation to the upside. Remember, silver, we have our trade from here. Okay, already 250 pips up from 15 here on our entry. That is silver and gold. Brent crude, as I've shown, crashed through the target, as you can see, exactly right at the target forecasted a couple of weeks back. We are here now, we are pulling back. Is this the end of the move? Are we going to get up to around 50%? It's possible that we retrace to around 50%, but we know that that does not happen in a straight line. So we can have a pullback here, get a 3-wave move up to about a 50% line, and silver resumes the move higher. So for now, we're waiting for that setup on silver for downside. Looking at the pound pairs, let's have a look. The reason why I was saying a pound US dollar may make a flat correction is because of pound chief. If you look at pound chief, we've got a 3-wave corrective structure. We're looking for a continuation to the downside here. Okay, so this is pound chief, and we'll be looking for a continuation to the upside after the move to the downside. So, but for this week, we're looking for a continuation of these moves to the downside. That is pound chief, pound Audi. So pound Audi 2 weeks back, I gave you I told you guys that this is going to be an almost guaranteed trade to the downside. This was an entry. It has now reversed back to entry. Now we've got a new setup that is also still very good for downside. The way it's correcting now, we're going to just wait for a corrective structure. So this is a high probable trade, okay? High probable trade for the next coming week. Check out pound Audi. Okay, so there's a number of good trades in the on the crosses. Check out, look out for them in the next week. Okay, so we'll be trading this in the next week. We'll be looking for this. Now, how do you confirm that it's ready to go? Okay, so that is the critical thing. You need to have a strategy that tells you when the trade is ready. Pound pound New Zealand as well. We had a setup here. The only reason why I didn't take this one was because I was already in pound Audi, and the stop loss on this one was a bit wide, so that's why I was not interested in this one. But this one is setting up nicely again. We've got a move down here. Is this trade ready? For all we know is that pound New Zealand can do this structure here. Watch out for this structure. As much as it looks like it's going now, don't go and sell this when the market opens, because there's a possibility that this makes a structure like this, comes down here, makes a corrective structure, comes down here, makes a move up here, and give you this corrective structure. This corrective structure is decent and will be the one that I'm interested in if I'm going to take a trade on pound New Zealand, because it would have made a nice ABC corrective structure. It's actually an ABC corrective structure. It could be ABC, it could be XXY, whichever one confirms, we will see which one there. So that is what we're going to be looking at for on pound New Zealand. Pound CAD. Pound CAD. Last week on pound CAD, we were here. I was looking for a structure to do this 1, 2, 3, and then make a move to the downside. We've made a drop here on pound CAD. We're looking for this move to the downside. Now, how does this move look? Let's check out the labeling. If you look at the labeling on pound CAD, if you look at labeling here, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. This is an ending diagonal with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves. Let me show you the 5 waves here on pound CAD. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and then we drop. Now we're looking for entries to the downside. That's how wave theory works. Simple as that if you understand structure. Okay, we're now going to look at pound ZAR. Let's look at pound, euro pound. So euro pound is setting for upside. Makes sense because the pound pairs are looking downside. So we'll be looking for these to pull back and give us another move to the upside. So that is what we're looking at on euro pound. Euro Audi. Euro Audi, we're expecting a move to the downside. Actually, we took a trade here on Euro Audi that took us out. I'll show you where we took the trade on Euro Audi. This is where we took the trade on Euro Audi, and I showed you this structure last week. I showed you that we're actually already on the trade on Euro Audi last week. It came, took us out with this move. But what it was doing, even when you're losing the trade, that's okay. You win some, you lose some. We have got this move. It has made a corrective structure. We are still looking for that downside. We were just early. We were thinking only a single correction and continuation to the downside. As you can see, it has made a double correction, a WXY structure. Now we're looking for this. Look out for this entry. Very high probable trade for next week. Very good trade on Euro Audi, just like euro pound. Okay, right, so that is a EURAUD, EURCAD. EURCAD, look out for this structure, not confirmed as yet. We've got a pulsing move up here on EURAUD. Look at this interesting structure. We've got a pulsing move down in the lower degree, in red degree. This whole move here is a corrective structure. It's a flat correction. You can look at this as a flat correction. Now we're looking for that red move to come down. So EURAUD, you can look for it set up for downside to at least back to this level, after which you would expect this move back up to this level. Okay, so we'll be looking for this, and then we'll be looking for this continuation down here, this continuation down here, this continuation down here. But we're not worried about this yet. We're looking at this move. The next immediate move is this one. We'll be looking for downside on EURCAD. Timing of the market is absolutely critical. EURGBP, we've made a pullback here. I was actually expecting this to be only a wave 4, but it has invalidated our rules for a wave 4. So this is not going to be a wave 4 anymore. So it looks like this has completed the move here. Let's just have a look here. Okay. So this is a very deep wave 2, so it may not be a wave 2. So here, we're just going to be looking here for now to get a 3-wave move initially. So we'll see how this goes first. Doesn't look like it's going to go impulsively. This is too deep, and we have invalidated this as a wave, as a wave 4. Okay, so that's the structure. We've adjusted the structure there. Watch out for this. At least just a 3-wave, not a reversal as yet, because this looks like it's going to continue to the downside. So there is not much volumes to the upside on EUROCHF. Okay, so some of the good trade setups for the next week. Euro New Zealand, watch out for Euro New Zealand. This looks too obvious, guys. Don't go for the obvious trades. This is not ready yet. Don't just go and sell when the market opens. Wait for confirmation. It's not just going to go like that. Okay, so for all we know, here you can have a structure like this. You can even have another double corrective structure. It will be even better if it makes a double for downside. But when you get a confirmation here, then you look for this trade to the downside. That is Euro New Zealand. Right, let's go to the crosses. Now looking at the crosses. Looking at the crosses, this is AUDCAD. AUDCAD, we're still expecting this one to make one more move to the upside. One more move to the upside. We're still busy correcting here. We're going to get one more move to the upside. Okay, another one is New Zealand CAD, and I'm skipping AUDJPY and New Zealand. New Zealand CAD has got a very high probable setup. When it confirms here, we'll be looking for this one to the upside. Check out New Zealand CAD in the next couple of days. Audi New Zealand, looking for a pullback here. At this point here, we should get a bounce here. It's setting up here for a move to the upside. That is Audi New Zealand. But is that the reversal, or is it going to give us one more down? We're going to wait for the move to come up here. If it goes up in 3 waves, then it's going to come down. If it goes impulsively, we know it's going to continue higher. Okay, so that is Audi New Zealand. New Zealand Chief, very nice trade setup. Okay, so we've got a pullback here on New Zealand Chief. We've got a push up higher impulsively. Is this going to continue up higher, or we're going to make a 3-wave move first? So another possibility is that we've got an impulsive move. We've got a move here. We get a corrective structure. You get an entry. It goes and just retests here at the top, comes back before it continues higher. We've made a very sharp move on New Zealand Chief, so we may get a deeper corrective structure like this. But for now, you can look out for an entry for a 3-wave move to the upside. That is the New Zealand Chief, CADJPY. CADJPY as well is 3-wave move to the upside. This is 3 waves. Why do I say 3 waves? For those that can't see, is because of this. This is a 3-wave move so far. So far, it's a single 3-wave move that we have. It's not a 5-wave move to the upside. It's 1, 2, 3 here in the lower degree, and we're making another 1, 2, 3 here. So for now, this is not confirmed reversal as yet. This could be a corrective structure on CADJPY. All right, let's run through the indices, the S&P 500. S&P 500, so you'll see that all the indices, the analysis is very simple. We've reached the targets that we expected in the last couple of weeks. Let's have a look at S&P 500. We've got a 3-wave move forecasted on the S&P 500 complete. Now we're expecting this to give us a 3-wave pullback. All of them, all the indices, we're just looking for 3-wave pullbacks. They've reached the targets that we've looked for when they were here. If you look at last week, we expected those moves to the upside. When we were here, we forecasted this move, we forecasted this move. That is S&P 500. The Dow Jones Industrial, the same as the S&P 500, simple 3-wave move. simple 3-wave move. Now we're expecting a pullback in another 3 waves as well. So look out for entries for downside when that confirms. They're not ready yet, so give it time. The NASDAQ is similar, looking for downside. So the NASDAQ is already making a 3-wave structure. That is what we're looking for here on the NASDAQ. Okay. UK 100, similar. We've made pullbacks on all of them. You can see all of them making these 3-wave moves. We did not only label this in hindsight, we labeled this and focused this before it happened. Now we've got the drop. Now we'll be looking for a move to the downside. Timing of the market is important when you take this trade to the downside. The DAX, we're looking for downside here on the DAX. We'll be looking for this move here for continuation to the downside. Also, you can see 1, 2, 3 here. Here's a clearly labeled one here on the DAX. Let's look at this one here. 3-wave structure and downside. That's how simple that is. 3-wave structure, 3 waves up and pullback. Now we're waiting for this 3-wave pullback on the DAX. Right, Nikkei, all of them, same thing. So the Nikkei, 3-wave structure, 1, 2, impulsive move. Are we going to get this pullback and continuation to the downside? Wait for this here. So then the Nikkei and the Nifty are a little bit different in terms of structure. They're looking like they're still going to make one more up here. So there's a possibility we get one more up here on the Nikkei before we get the correction, the deeper correction. Nifty, we still have a trade setup running that we took here. Posted for some of my Indian traders here. We've got a move to the upside. Looks like we've had a pullback. Looks like the Nifty is still going to continue higher, still showing strength, upside strength there on the Nifty. So still looking for upside. Sun Pharmaceutical stock in the Indian Stock Exchange. Look out for this here. We've got I've posted this one, I've analyzed this one for the Indian traders as well. We've made a move here. So we were waiting here to have a corrective structure. If we had a corrective structure here, this was going to go in one move. So because we've made a pullback here and a sharp one, looks like we're going to have a corrective structure here. We're going to come and retest the low here and make a move to the upside. We're going to be simply making these 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and maybe possibly another 3 waves or an impulsive move to this level. Around this level, if you get this level, you can even put in buy stops here, so buy limit orders here, and for a move to the upside, because you've got a clear flat correction there on the Nifty. Okay, now running through the cryptocurrencies, look out for our Crypto Corner webinar tomorrow at 11 a.m. South African time. That is 9 a.m. GMT. We're going to have a cryptocurrency webinar. We're just going to look briefly at Bitcoin. Bitcoin last week, we were looking for this corrective structure here. I also did a crypto webinar. You can check out my crypto webinar on my channel that I did on Wednesday. We're looking for the move to the downside on Bitcoin. This is what we were looking for. I did an update as well when this was about to drop on the cryptos, just to show you that wave theory also applied to crypto webinars as well. Crypto market as well. So here we've got what looks like an impulsive move. It does not look like it's got a strong volume to the upside. So we're looking for possibly 3-wave and continuation to the downside. The reason why I'm looking for that structure is this. I'm looking for this structure to have made an impulsive move here, a 3-wave structure here, and I'm looking for this one to make a move here. So what I'm looking for is this A, B, C structure to here as follows. Let me take this one off here. Here we're looking for this 1, 2, 3 to the upside, and we're looking for this one to continue lower. This is the reason why I was calling for this one to drop. Is this ready to drop? We're going to have to wait for confirmation, because there is a possibility that we get this 3-wave corrective structure here before we get the downside here. So we may make one more up here on the cryptocurrencies. Long term, the cryptos are looking upside. So we are only looking for a pullback to this level before we get a move to the upside. We'll be looking for a move to the upside. The daily, the weekly are showing upside on the cryptocurrencies. Okay, so this is what we have here on Bitcoin. If you look at the daily chart, on the daily chart, we're just about breaking that level here, but we may make one pullback before we make a move to the upside. So we may even retest the all-time highs here, but not just yet, because even if we do break out here, we can retest this recent high on the cryptocurrencies, make a move back down before we actually go. So we could be sideways for a while here on the cryptocurrencies in this range for a couple of years before we actually push higher. But let's have a look. So are we going to get next to around the 1,400 on Bitcoin? So let's have a look at that. So we're waiting for this pullback. If we do get that pullback correctively, we should retest that level. That is Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptocurrencies. Same analysis. That is Ethereum. Looking at Ethereum, that is on the daily. Let's have a look now at the 4-hour. So what are we seeing on the 4-hour? On the 4-hour, we're still seeing weakness on Ethereum. So cryptocurrencies pullback. We're waiting for those pullbacks. I'm actually waiting for Ethereum to come back to this level, just like I'm expecting with Bitcoin. With this 3-wave corrective structure, that's the move that I'm expecting, and then upside. Litecoin, the same. Remove this. So Litecoin also the same. We were calling for these down moves here on Wednesday, and we saw the drop on Tuesday rather, and then we started seeing the drop here on Wednesday. Are we going to get this move to the downside? Looks like we're still going to get that move to the downside. Still showing weakness. And lastly, Ripple, looking downside. That is Ripple there. We're calling for this downside when we were here, and that is how Ripple has dropped. We're still expecting further weakness with this corrective structure to at least around this level. Okay, guys, that's all I had for you this week. Trade responsibly. Look out for our website for more updates, and don't forget to check out our social media pages under the description of the video. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great week. Cheers. Bye-bye.